Well, today I will be showing in, unfortunately, only 2 games how well the GTX 550 Ti performs. The GTX 550 Ti is a pretty old graphics card from like what, 2010, 2011? I don't even remember, it doesn't show on the page. But it has 192 CUDA cores at 900 megahertz and has a gig of GDDR5 on a 192-bit bus at around 98.4 gigabits per second. Yes, it was an HDMI, but it requires a singular 6-pin. It's a dual slot, kind of longish card, and technically speaking, it does support DirectX 12, but I tried to do Forza 6 Apex beta right here, and it does not support DX12 fully, and I think that that's actually at the hardware level, not the software level, so there's really not much that can be done about that. But that's alright, that wouldn't really perform that good anyways, like 192 CUDA cores. Here's some pictures of the one that I received. I got it from a guy that originally seemed kind of sketchy off Craigslist, and just so you know, I'm recording this on my R9 380. But here are a few pictures of it. It's got 2 DVI, what is it, DVI-I, I think? Let me check the page, does it show? Yeah, 2 dual-link DVI-Is and a mini HDMI. I took it apart, it was in surprisingly good condition. Thermal paste was still good condition, nothing was burned out, nothing was snapped, cracked, broken. Like, for a card this old, from a guy that honestly looked this sketchy, who actually ended up being pretty legit, I mean, it's in good condition. So, story is, well, I got the card off Craigslist honestly just to make this video, see how well it performed, and see if it could perform decent enough in 1080p. Being the idiot that I am, I didn't do my research and found that it used a mini HDMI instead of a full HDMI, which meant that I could not use my 1080p monitor. And I was having many scaling issues trying to get this stupid thing to do 1080p on my Dell P170S, like even render it in the background. It just did not like it, so I had to do all my benchmarking videos in 1280 by 1024. But it's a decent overclocker. I was able to get the core up to about 1040 and the memory up to, for the total clock I think it was, 2540, which put it at around, what was it, either about 112 or 120 gigabits a second, which is a whole lot up from the 90. And even though this thing barely has any CUDA cores, it really likes memory overclocking, because its bandwidth is just tiny. Let's see if I can pull this up. I'll go check, but this is basically like what, half of a GT 1030? Yeah, this has half the cores of a GT 1030. The clocks are quite a bit slower. It has half the, let's see. Oh, it actually has faster memory bandwidth. Pretty curious. Thing is, this really will overclock to the frickin' moon when it comes to memory bandwidth. This loves memory overclocking and will overclock to the moon. This, however, really won't. It does not overclock that high, even though it does have a higher memory interface width. It's on PCIe 2.0 and blah blah blah. So I guess from here I'll roll the clips and tell you how well it performs. Alright, well, now that it has finally decided to work, here it is playing Rocket League, and while recording you can see that it has actually successfully, for the most part, managed to max out Rocket League at 1280 by 1024, and that is, if you can see the frame counter in the top right, that is maxing it out at the 75 Hz refresh rate of this monitor, which is still not that impressive. It's still pretty nice, and I was only really able to do this while recording by upping the memory to a level where it gets really close to crashing. Like, this thing will only realistically last me about, say, an hour before crashing, maybe 2 hours. But considering the fact that my sessions are usually less than an hour long in Rocket League, I don't do binges for 4 hours straight, crap like that. It's stable enough to last a full gaming session. It's not like 24 hours stable or 24 hour synthetic load stable, or really, honestly, this isn't really even synthetic load stable at all. But thankfully, what the fuck? How's this 60? This should not be just 60. This is actually stable for Rocket League for long enough to have a session. Although in recording it really does get unhappy, because this does only have a singular gigabyte RAM. Now, the reason why, like, especially when not recording, this is actually able to max out Rocket League, I'm certain is because of the fact that this is actually using an i5. Oh my god. I'm sure that you could get it to max out using probably something like that of an overclocked, say maybe G3258 or G4560, or if you were like extra clever and you wanted to like never upgrade your CPU again, go to like frickin' Yahoo Auctions and buy yourself a cheap X58 motherboard and get yourself an X5650 and some good cheap DDR4 that is ready for overclocking, because that is a thing that exists. You should look that up. Damn it, my freaking aerials are crap today. But using like something like, if you were really clever and determined, using something like that of an X5650, if you were willing to search through like Yahoo auctions for like a $70 X58 motherboard, or if you didn't want to spend near that much for just a computer that normally does like esports titles, say something like a G3258, if you can find a cheap one for about $30 off of like letgo.com or Craigslist. Delit and overclock the thing to like 4.3-ish gigahertz. You should probably be able to max out most of the games you play still, because of the high single core performance. Oh my god, I swear to god if that goes in. But that should also work pretty well. Now, like, the clocks that I'm currently running at are about 1040 core, a total of 2540 memory, which is, like I said earlier, not the most stable, but it works for long enough. But say when not recording, and this is recording using Intel QuickSync, not like actually GPU or CPU encoding. And yes, I'll be completely honest here, I actually overclocked the Intel like iGPUs so that QuickSync would be just a tad faster. And I also dedicated like a full freaking gig of RAM to the iGPU, so that, like I said, recording would be a bit more stable, because I can't use the Radeon Relive with the GeForce GPU, and Shadowplay doesn't really want to work. So, yeah. And fraps, you know, I'm too cheap to get fraps at this point. So, like, once this is over, I'll do, say, TF2. And I'll see if I actually have any other games lying around. But this is currently using an i5 4460 and 8 gigs of 1600 megahertz DDR3. Which is more than enough to supplement this GPU. I'll be honest, I expected more performance out of it, but given the fact that it doesn't even have 200 CUDA cores, which makes it like, what, half of a GT 1030 with less memory bandwidth, memory speed, less per core performance, yada yada yada. And lower clocks. I mean, considering all that, it's pretty damn good. I mean, if you wanted like, but the thing is though, like, I'm gonna be selling this for 20 bucks for anyone that's interested, which is like pretty freaking cheap. So this is like if, like, say, CSGO, I would not be surprised if you could do 1080 60 CSGO, which is pretty good. I mean, that's not really hard to run. You can run CSGO on a potato, but I don't even have CSGO, so don't quote me on that. So, well, that's this video of it running on Rocket League. I will do Team Fortress 2 next. Alright, well, thankfully I was able to get it to record TF2. It's still quite a finicky thing, but this is, if you're wondering, TF2 fully maxed. Fully maxed. Not the most insane of scenarios, I'm sure. Man versus, or MXM would be quite a tad unhappier. Also, the thing is, I'm sitting on my desk and my old monitor's on the floor, which really makes this hard to play, because this game is, for me, basically unplayable with a controller.
Pyro, protect my sentry, please.
Well, this is still basically maxing it out. Oh, hey, there's a Pyro. You know what, I guess I'll try to be a Pyro, but I'm not very good with TF2 either way, so this is, like, actually quite difficult for me to play. But, thankfully right now, the graphics card is not really holding me back. Oh. Not by any real significant means. How the... Not gonna question that. But, well, it plays TF2... I would say good enough, but I think that was my internet connection being painfully laggy there, because I am derping and using a sorry about that USB wireless dongle.
Spy Pyro, I believe. Spy Pyro.
Oh, dear God. Hello, didn't see you there. Let's see. A few other ideas. Engineer, maybe? Oh, because my engineer shotgun's pretty good. I mean, it's not, like, amazing, but it's decent enough. But, let's see what I can do now, maybe? That's internet connection fault right there.
Spy around.
Good God. Well, actually, this may be the VRAM limitations. Huzzah. I'll play about until this round is over, which shouldn't be very long. Because TF2 isn't exactly my favorite game. It's alright, but, you know. It just kind of sucks that I don't have really any AAA titles. This is running at the same overclock. This is running at the same overclock as 4, which is usable. I wouldn't call it, like, amazing. Well, actually, this overclock is pretty beefy. This overclock has like room for improvements, say like putting a heatsink on the VRM and the memory, then it might fare a little better. Oh god, he's not dead. Well, I guess if we're gonna do this, I'll just have to fight fire with fire. But this is actually my first time playing TF2 on the 550 Ti, so I'm sure this would actually be like fully maxing out the refresh rate if I wasn't recording.
Can we get more sentries, maybe?
Fucking hell. Alright, that is a lot of sheer power. Oh my god. Wow. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that I could do that. Maybe I should just go up there and give him a punch to the face. Swear to God, I just saw a spy. That was a frickin' massacre.
Heavy, if you stand next to the dispenser, you can keep firing.
Where's the dispenser? Oh, okay. Ow, ow, ow. Alright, good. That was a pretty good idea, I must say.
Uh-huh.
Oh, hey. Oh my god. I swear there's gotta be a spy somewhere around here.
We have the pyros around us, but yeah, if we just play defensive, we'll be okay along with pyros.
Alright, alright.
I mean, that makes sense, no? We have
Yeah.
ammo men. Yeah. Like earlier we had a scout, and that was kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
A mini sentry man? Come on.
I'll be honest, I'm literally playing this on a 550 Ti and recording a YouTube video right now. My monitor is sitting on the ground, and I'm sitting in a chair because it won't fit on the desk.
Spies are around us for sure. Oh, fuck.
Jesus Christ. We just got freaking raided. Please, all the pyros, all the heavies. Blitz them.
Watch out for the spies. Watch the spies.
Blitz the ever-living shit out of them.
Oh, fuck. No. They got this.
God damn it, we were so close. Alright. Good game, guys. Good game.
Good game. Good game.
Alright, I'm gonna go edit this video. Good luck to y'all. That was actually a relatively good game for once. Let's see. What items did I get? Alright, that's cool. That's cool. There. Ooh. Alright, well, here are the results. Also, went better and also yet worse than I expected. In both cases, Rocket League and TF2, because those are only the two games that I really play, and I don't really have any AAA titles or anything like that, but in both cases, maxed out at native resolution, is able to hit the VSync limit of 75 Hertz. It was almost able to do so while recording, but that's also because I was using Intel QuickSync on an overclocked iGPU with a gig of RAM dedicated to it as well, which, interestingly enough, well, take that back, it's actually still quite a bit weaker than even the little old 550 Ti itself. But I was using an i5-4460, which is almost enough to just carry this processor, this graphics card. But I'd say that, I think that by the, let's see, what was it? Tech Yes City was able to do, just barely able to get a 460 on 1080p low in GTA 5. I'm thinking if this is really pushing it, but in 720p low settings with my i5-4460, it would probably be playable, especially in DirectX 12, because it would really be able to utilize the processor, especially because the graphics card bottleneck will shove a lot of the performance requirements onto the processor. But I'd say that it's good enough for esports titles. And for processors that I'd recommend with it, say if you want to build a system that's just esports, that's it. I'd recommend something like a G3258 overclocked to 4.2 gigahertz or higher with 4 gigs of decent RAM. But if you wanted to actually be able to stream with this, at these disgustingly low performance, no, I'm kidding, it's actually not that bad, but at the performance level that it's at, if you really do want to record videos and stream with it, I would not recommend that you do so with NVIDIA Shadowplay, because this thing has a tough enough time running games on its own. Say, go to the Yahoo Japan auctions, find yourself an X58 motherboard for, surprisingly enough, in the realm of, what is it, 70 to 80 bucks, which is really, really cheap for how good these motherboards are. And excuse me. And like an X5650 for like 15 bucks off eBay, which is a 6-core 12-thread Xeon, which with I think even like a Hyper 212 Evo or something similar, you can overclock the stupid thing to over 4 gigahertz, and at around 4.3 gigahertz with like cache speeds of not far behind, you can even hit like 1,000 Cinebench on it. That with like 12 gigs of like low voltage Samsung DDR3. If you look that up, there's still some on eBay, but you're looking for like the full height modules that go for about 20 bucks for 4 gigs, which will overclock to like 2400 megahertz. That should be able to be like a good streaming machine, and I don't know, it will last you for about like 3 years, 3, 4, maybe even, no, I wouldn't say 5, maybe 3, 4 years with you upgrading nothing but like the graphics card, and that's it. Or if you wanted to go like stupid ultra cheap, you could get like a Dell Optiplex something or other, and get like an old 771 socket Xeon, modify the motherboard to fit said Xeon with just simple mods, and do the BSEL, I think it was, overclocking method to upgrade the overclock the FSB through hardware instead of software or firmware or whatever. But overclock the FSB to get like a quad core, like 2006 quad core, but still like a quad core at all, which combined with like 4 gigs of RAM and the 550 Ti would actually still be able to play plenty of games. Granted, not at 1080-60, but it'll still play at the very least. I enjoyed the card, and I'm gonna try to sell it, honestly. This is actually the first time I've ever done like a voiceover style video, and also the first time I've ever actually edited a video, technically speaking edited, but not really. You know what I mean. But, well, that's that. It kind of sucks that you can't use Radeon Reload with the GeForce GPUs, but then again, I wouldn't use, really, the 550 Ti with any GPU-powered recording software. 1 gig of RAM does not do you the best in games, but, I mean, it's still usable. So, I mean, I guess that's the video.